Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast, and we've got play props here on Friday for you guys to close out the work week. 10 games on the slate in the NBA. Definitely want to make sure you are subscribed to that channel. We've also got best bets up in a separate episode with some looks at sides and totals for you guys. And you do need to sign up for that email newsletter. You can check out the description of this video for the link to get over to that email newsletter on thelines.com. Make sure you're not missing any of the news that we have coming out for you guys on the sports betting world each week. Also have the bonus parlay from Nate and myself. We are bringing you that each and every Friday, and it's in the newsletter only, not bringing it to you in the video, so make sure you check that out. 3-0 right now on the SGPs to start the season, looking at about 4 units made, so hoping to keep that going here on a Friday with you guys. But let's go ahead and jump right into our first play up prop here from you, Nate.
Yeah, going with the vet here, Kawhi Leonard on a little extra rest, 28.5 points and rebounds. Clippers hosting Memphis, and Clippers are a freaking wagon at home right now. So I guess I'd be a little bit worried about Memphis getting blown out again after they couldn't score in Portland. But that's going to lead to a lot of rebounding opportunities. I mean, last 4 roadies for Memphis, shooting 44%. Opponents are grabbing 48.5 boards in their road games since the All-Star break. And they got Triple J back, but they've actually allowed more points to power forwards since he's gotten back in there. They are, now kind of like they're one of the leaders in forcing paint shots out of the restricted area, kind of keeping people from going all the way to the basket, forcing mid-range. These are the places Kawhi eats and why he's been consistently around 25 points against this Memphis team, even when they're closer to full strength with their defense. And then their pace just leads to these absurd rebound chance totals for some of these wings. Like Najee Marshall had 32 rebound chances, Avdia 22, Mobley and Sohan both 20 plus. So you're looking at the 6th most rebounds and most assists actually to power forwards in their last 15 for Memphis. But Kawhi, he's more of a mercenary, just getting buckets. I mean, he has dimed up a little bit lately, but when you just look at extra rest and more minutes, I'm like, he seems like a pretty good ladder up here to like 25 points. Since the All-Star break, he's averaging 24 regardless of rest, 35 minutes a game, 6.2 rebounds, but last 3 with extra rest, just 1 extra day, 26 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, a few more minutes, and a 31% usage rate. So they're happy to feed him, get him going here, get him into prime Kawhi form as the Clippers get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to need that prime Kawhi form. So yeah, this is a great matchup for a lot of Clips. I think there's going to be some better overs there for them in this game. So I fully agree with looking at Kawhi to start. Had a great game against them last time. I think Norm Powell's probably still a little bit low too. We'll see if we can get some more minutes projected for him specifically. But we're going to have a nice little small window here as Norm also ramps back up to probably get some value on his props that are going to be too low for someone who's going to probably be dropping about 20 a game, maybe 19 a game in the playoffs. But looking forward to that Clips team, man. I was really ready to bet some futures on them until like it just didn't really all come together. And then more importantly, the Lakers get Luka, the Dubs get Jimmy, so things weren't quite as good for them, but they still got a shot as like a sneaky dark horse going into this Western Conference playoffs for sure. So let me go to a team that's not sneaking up on anybody, the Wizards, and take an under on Jordan Poole, 19.5 PRA. What are we doing, man? Dude's not playing. Like, what are we doing? He's not playing 20 minutes, and he's not getting a PRA per minute. It's not Jordan Poole. So yes, he went under in the last game against Utah, 20 minutes. Okay, he took 11 shots. I'll give you that. 11 shots in 20 minutes. Didn't make a 3. Went 0 for 9 from 3. Had the look in the air of a kid who just got scolded by his coach. So he's just out there pouting and throwing up bricks because he wants to play, but he's not getting playing time because they can't win. So they can't afford to win. So that's where we're at with Jordan Poole. Is like I'm just taking this nasty boy look where the last game where he took the 11 shots, 20 minutes. No Chris Middleton, no Keyshawn George, a couple other guys missing as well. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Anthony Gill was actually missing. The point is like it's not because Anthony Gill is good. No offense. He's obviously very good. He's in the NBA. But it's not because he's good that Jordan Poole's not playing. It's because they're not trying to win. And Anthony Gill's all of a sudden getting 24 minutes in a game. And nobody here who is listening to this, nobody has heard of Anthony Gill. Do not lie to me and tell me that you have. So that's where we're at with the Wizards, right? And you're going to have Vucevic in there as well. And like I said, Middleton will have the ball. He has taken a decent amount of usage in the 24 minutes a game he's playing, just missed against the Jazz. And like, let's be honest, like this ain't the Jazz. This is the Magic. And like, while this is a defense that if you want to beat it, the best way to do it is have a very good scoring point guard go and have high usage, get into the lane, cause the defense to try to collapse on him, and then potentially get open shots that way. good luck. This is still a top 5 defense, despite it being a bottom 5 offense for Orlando. So I'm just not really sure how we feel like Jordan Poole is going to get into the lane and get open shots up. If he hits those baloney threes that he was taking against the Jazz, then God bless Jordan, and you beat me in this one. But I'm very, very willing to take under 20 PRA for that.
Oh, this makes me nervous, man. I mean, this Washington. I mean, are they doing the Utah Jazz thing where they're like, all right, you can't play against another tanking team, but now we know Orlando's probably going to beat us. So go out there and hoist 25 times, Jordan Poole. Like, I don't know what you're going to get necessarily. At least you do have Middleton back in there to give them another bit of an option, but I don't know if I can expect him to be cut off at 20 minutes. I mean, and he has gone over when he's been like 24 to 26 minutes even recently. It is a tough matchup. I do like Orlando to just shut them down completely. So, but yeah, it could get wonky here with Washington coming back home. That's all. I'll throw a little caution on that. But I mean, I'm a little nervous about this one too. But I am taking another vet here on extra rest. Jamal Murray, 31.5 PRA. And if you get a better price on just the rebounds and assists, I think that could be a look. It's 9.5 or 10.5, depending what your price is, because he's going to see a lot of Toumani Camara in this, right? And, I mean, as the number one option with Camara on him, might be forced to pass out a little bit more. We just saw that kind of come to pass with Minnesota, forcing him to dime a lot more. He had only 12 points, but 5 rebounds, 8 assists. You would expect the RA to go up here without Joker. It hasn't really this season in a small sample, but you look at the sample going back 3 seasons, 20.7 and 33 PRA for Jamal, including 7 dimes a game. Last time out without Joker was 2 months ago because they both sat out together. He had a 31% usage rate. And the thing with Toumani is he hasn't had much success stopping Jamal individually. I mean, granted, they've been worrying about Joker too, but this Blazers team has been roasted defensively. They've been good against everybody else. Toumani's been good against everybody else, but he's a 129 defensive rating in 3 against Portland. This year, Jamal dropped 55 on them last time. He averages 24, 5, and 9 his last 8 against the Blazers. Can't blame that all on Camara, but also he hasn't played in 5 days. So obviously the vet is going to have his legs under him. He's a much better 3-point shooter when he has 2 days rest in his career. He also, obviously this is probably the most obvious statement ever, but the PRA goes up with his minutes. He's up to 32 with 36, 35 when he plays 40 minutes. And he could be ready for that kind of slate, though, because like no Joker, maybe some other guys sitting for the Nuggets, and they need to get back on track here against the Portland team that plays hard. And I expect a very high usage rate tonight for Murray.
He should, yeah. He should have a pretty high usage rate. That's really it. I'm assuming they want to win still, and we'll see what Portland's doing. I guess Toumani probably is a little bit legitimately hurt, but it's tough to gauge who's going to be guarding him if Toumani's not out there, and without Jokic, everything changes. So yeah, should still have a decent shot at it. But I'm going to close out with an under in Miami here. Bam's assists are too high against this Houston Rockets team. 4.5 is just not something I'm banking on here against the Rockets. You saw him it's historical too with them. Like you go back to last season, 4 potentials in the game this season for 1 dime, 5.5 potentials in 2 games last year, and did have a game where he got 6 dimes on 6 potentials. Not banking on that happening in this one either. When you look at the way that Houston played him last time as well, like it is just all one-on-one. They're just hugging their defenders. It could not be more the case for Miami. Where the thing that scares me about the bet is like this is not the exact same Miami team that even played when they played last time when Jimmy was still there, even though he didn't play. It was still slightly a different team from the standpoint that like, okay, well, Bam is able to sort of just be left alone, and they don't have to like worry about anybody else. And now it's kind of like, well, Bam's better than most of the guys that he'd probably be passing to, other than like the Duncans and the Tyler Heroes. So maybe we do feel a little bit better about doubling him and forcing the ball into like a Jaime Jaquez's hands, or even Khalil Ware, who we're fine going up one-on-one against Ahmed Thompson. So like that would be the way that this bet gets sort of impeded. But I'm actually going to bank on Ime continuing to not focus on Bam. Like there are players that Ime has clearly taken his defense and switched it a little bit, like Zion Williamson, for example, where he's like, we'll give Zion some assists. We just don't want to give him layups. So we're going to put Dylan Brooks on him, and we're going to or Tari Eason, and we're going to have guys who are just staring him down ready to go into the lane and get him. That's how Ime plays a guy like Zion. It's not how he's going to play a guy like Bam, where he's going to force, have 6 sets of eyes on him at all times to go ahead and make sure that he's, not getting past his guy. It's still just going to be one-on-one with Şengün. And there's a reason that like this team is so good limiting centers, third best limiting center assists in addition to regular assists, because even if you are a passing big man, they're not doubling you down in the post. That's actually how they give up a good amount of points, is off of post-ups, and off of guys going ISO against their guys. So like I said, for Bam, if he's at about 5.5 potential assists against this team on average since he started playing them with Ime as the coach for Houston, then I'm just going to keep banking on that. And like 5 assists on 5 or 6 chances is not something that I feel good about. Like I would need him to get up to 10, and he's gotten double digit potential assists twice since the All-Star break. So there's not much to be scared of with Bam unless he just has an insanely high percentage of his potentials turning into regular assists. And this Miami team, as we've talked about, is 30th in offensive rating. So are you really expecting those shots to be open or good looks from spot up for his guys?
Yeah, definitely a game to look at. Some unders here. What's the total? 213 at the moment. I think Şengün will have a tough time on the other end too. Like I think it'll just be a slobber knocker between these two guys with the wings not having much success. Maybe Jalen Green under. We just don't know what Amen Thompson's role is going to be coming back in here. But I mean, that just adds to the defensive versatility and activity for the Rockets, is getting Amen back in there. Going to be very hard for the Heat to have any semblance of order on offense. Maybe Tyler Hero under because of that reason. Like he's going to have that much attention too.
Yeah. I think Hero, Green. Hero scares me because they will let him go one-on-one with Dylan Brooks, and he did have like 28 and 9 in their last game doing that, as even Dylan Brooks was just kind of like by the end of the game was like, nah, it's all good. Do your thing, Tyler. Go ahead. But then also under for Jalen, for sure. He's always getting the best defender on the other team for Jay Green. You know who doesn't get the best defender is Fred. So Fred VanVleet is going to be going up against Duncan. Fred has killed this team, by the way. 32, 13, 16 points in the last 3. 16 potentials, 14 potentials, assists for him in the last 3 versus Miami. He is someone to definitely be. He's always getting the easiest matchup for whomever the worst defender is on the wing for Miami. It's now going to be the guy guarding Fred. We've seen Duncan starting at that 2 spot. I think he gets Duncan. That's going to be a nice look for Fred. So that's all the time we have for you in this one, though. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that channel. And don't forget to check out, I should say, the description of the video, because that is where we have the email newsletter for you guys. So you can make sure you do check out that bonus parlay that Nate and I have put in there for you guys. And until we see you next, happy betting.